Oh, hello everyone. I just want to do, I got a few things I want to do. We're going to start with this one. This is going to be a video all on itself. This is the Homoeomma species blue, or Euathlus species blue, or whatever they call it. I'm not sure. I still call it the Homoeomma species blue. The common name is the blue zebra. It's a tarantula from Peru. So I've heard other people call them the Homoeomma Peruvians. I'm not sure if that's even right. We're not quite 100% sure because there are so many different things that they said. Anyway, I rehoused the little bugger like I said I was going to do the other day. I actually did it that night. But I wanted to do the video on it. And I noticed something watching my videos actually, that you're hearing a lot of crinkling sounds, and that's this, where this little light, this LED light plugs into my phone, is in the phone jack. So I think that that is causing some of that crinkling sound. So I'm going to play with the other light a little bit more. Like if I pull this out, you probably hear some crinkling. You see how we lost that direct light. So I'm trying to figure out a way to mount this onto the tripod somehow, this little thing onto the tripod so it'll stay there. I'm going to work on something. Now you probably heard some more crinkling there. Anyway, so what I did is I got one of those 1/24th scale clear display cases. They're for the die-cast cars from Hobby Lobby, which I've had for a little while. I just haven't figured out who to put in it, and I decided that, like I said the other day, I wanted to put this one into something clear plastic so I could see it more. Every time it molds, it gets a little bit more of the bluish orangish coloring to it, so it's really looking nice. So what I did is, I'm going to take you off the tripod for a second, and if you look down, there's the spider right there. This is the top view. Okay, so this piece of twisted branch right there, I got this from outside a while ago. It's been baked, so it's good to go. This spider likes the greenery, so I did put some, things in here. And you could tell I did these holes with the Dremel drill, and I learned. Now I work with drills all the time, okay, and I know adjustable speeds and torque and all the other stuff that goes along with it. But what I did wrong with the Dremel drill, is because it's a high-speed drill. I don't think that one's a variable speed, that Dremel that I have. Anyway, instead of starting and stopping each hole, I thought I'd be smart and just keep the drill running and then catch the next hole. Well, you could see a couple spots, like right there, that big one there, where the drill walked. Did it here a time or two. So this was just kind of an experiment, doing this one. But so it's got just coconut fiber with a little bit of topsoil mixed in. Okay, and then I threw some beak moss. That light there is the light from up top. We're going to move that out. So we're just seeing this for now. Yeah, that's just some beaked moss. And this one doesn't dig, doesn't hide, it never did any of that stuff. So I just kind of like made it a little shelter area, basically. So it's 2 pieces of bark. And you can see what I did is I hot glued this piece as a diagonal there this way. And this is one of my favorite pieces of bark that we found. And I glued that one right there, you can see, and then a spot down here, down below. And then I put a piece on top just for a little bit of cover. And I put some of that sheet moss, or whatever that stuff is, living sheet moss or whatever it is, back there so that crickets and stuff wouldn't go back through there. Anyway, so this spider has gotten rather skittish since its last molt. Now, it never was a calm spider, but you could see it. How pretty. It has been a little bit more skittish. So I thought maybe it would, maybe move some dirt around and but all it did was move the beak moss into this area. So what I'm going to do is, since we're right here, I'm going to go ahead and throw a cricket in. And see if we'll get this spider to feed, which I'm sure we will. There we go. It generally does not refuse a meal. This is probably one of my top 5, if not top 3 tarantulas in my collection. I've adored this thing since I got it. This is the only tarantula I ever got from Ken the Bug Guy. Got it as a little under 1 inch. I think it was supposed to be 1 inch. It was like 7/8 of an inch. And it's probably maybe 1 3/4 inches, possibly 2 inches. Maybe 2.5, I don't know. It's hard to measure them completely. But, so yeah, I thought I'd give you guys an update on this kind of enclosure. I like the way I did this. I'm going to start doing some of this with more. So that's where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and let this one eat, and I'll give you some more footage of it in a second. Let's see if we can get some fang action going on here. It pretty much just grabbed the cricket and it's just sitting there. This one I feed roughly every 17 days is about the average that I've been trying to keep with this one. It varies. Sometimes it's been a little quicker, sometimes it's been a little bit longer. And of course it's a typical, I don't want to call it a Simani. I mean, there's resemblance to them, and you know, of course it's a zebra, but it doesn't fast as long as the Simanis do prior to molting. You know, maybe 3 weeks, I think, is the longest that this one's gone without eating. Maybe a month at the most. But it's been pretty good. I haven't sexed the molt yet. I've been unable to. So, like I said, I just wanted to do this quick update, and I have some other stuff. I'm gonna feed all those kilo brackies that I got in the other day. So we'll probably get those down, and I'll do a video of them eating. Now we might have a little bit of a happy dance going on here now. But these aren't very common. You don't find this tarantula very often, and they're not cheap. The only reason I got this one, like I said before, I wanted to pull the trigger a few times when I first started buying a bunch of them, and I didn't. Because of their cost. You know, you're upwards in $65 to $70 is where I was seeing them from NetBug and a couple other places. But I got this from Ken last Memorial Day. So Memorial Day or Labor Day? Might have been his Labor Day sale. I think it was Labor Day. I'd have to look at my income list and see where it, you know, when it arrived. But it was one of those. It was either Labor Day or Memorial Day. It was a sale that he had. I can't remember the percentage off, but I only paid like $30 for it, so I really couldn't pass it up. And I said, out of all the spiders that I've got, this is one of the ones I think that was worth every penny that I spent on it. So, you know, hopefully it'll be around for a good long time. You know, the care is pretty straightforward. I don't really wet it down. I do overfill the dish every time that I water it, not a lot. So I don't really flood it or really overfill it too much. It's just a little bit so that around the area of the water dish itself gets kind of damp. It's never, you know, when I first had it, I was spraying down half the enclosure, and it always went to the dry side. It never wanted to be on the moist side at all. So, you know, if anybody has these, you know, has experienced something different than what I have, please let me know. But like I said, it's pretty straightforward. It's a display spider. If there is a display spider, this is definitely it, because it is out all the time. Like I said, never burrowed, never used a hide. It had a skull hide before, and every now and then it would go in there when I would startle it, but it would come right back out again. It wouldn't spend any time in there. It wouldn't molt in there. It didn't barricade itself in. It just kind of used it as an escape from me, you know, rustling around. So that's kind of why I made this, you know, this area here, this cave area, so it could go in there. And I was thinking about, you know, like gluing or putting some hanging moss down over the side of that to give it like a, you know, kind of like a foresty kind of look, you know, like drape moss or something like that. But it's in here now, and again, I don't know if this is a boy or a girl. And I don't really think I'm going to change anything in it, actually. I think I'm just going to get its stuff out of the water dish there and fill that water dish up and put it back on the shelf and be done with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Another kind of like Spotlight T-Series. You you know, I don't worry about temperatures and humidity, so you really can't ask me what I do, anything, because I do the same for all of them. Nothing's really changed. The only ones I do differently are the ones that need the humidity that are fossorial. So again, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Looking forward to making some more videos. We have a lot of stuff coming up. I've got a busy week and a half, a real busy week and a half. So, you know, it'll be a video here or there sporadic through the next couple weeks. I'll do a video when I come back from Buffalo. I'm going to test out the GoPro and see, maybe I'll take the GoPro with me to Buffalo, you know, and do a video of the Buffalo show. I don't plan to be up there too long, maybe a few hours. I'm going to spend most of my time at the Mostly Reptiles display with Ruth and her husband Vaughn. I don't know if they need me to help them or not, but you know, we've been trying to meet up since last fall when they went to the show in Buffalo, because they passed like right by my house here on Interstate 90 to get to Buffalo. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I had a scorpion molt. One of the Jacksonis molted the regular one. So in the update video that I'll be doing, we'll probably showcase that little guy. They're going to get transferred over to the baseball cubes, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you soon, and talk to me.